in the wake of recent issues, congratulations to Donald Trump. Okay, we're back again
Yeah.
to the podcast.
Sorry we missed one episode.
Yep. No, we missed 1 week.
One
actually.
week.
Yeah.
Which is one episode, yeah. But we're back
But we're
again.
continuing from where we stopped.
Where we stopped. In case you thought that these people they don't
They don't
lose the
deal.
because we're back.
No. Well, yeah.
We're back. We fought hard to be back.
Yes,
so.
so.
This is Growing Up in Church podcast
Yep.
with
Faith.
and my
Bralado.
humble self Bralado. And this is episode 7.
It is?
It is.
Yeah, you're keeping count of the episodes.
Yes, I have to keep count now.
Yeah, I'm not keeping count of the episodes. Let's just be
Let's
going and be going.
back.
Yeah.
Let's just be going. And we're coming to the end of the year. And also, we're almost approaching this podcast is going to be in season. So we don't know when this particular season will stop. But
You can do up to episode 100.
and it's season 1. I don't think there's a rule for I know for series or sitcoms,
Yeah.
there is I think an episode standard.
It depends. I think
Some are
20.
24, some are
25.
26, some are 23, some are 15,
Yeah.
some are
9.
11, some are 6.
Limited series.
Limited series. But we don't know whether this podcast is a limited series.
No, it's not limited.
When it started as a limited series initially,
Yeah,
the
because it
idea,
was
first
10
idea was a limited
We're
series.
going to be 10 years, celebrating 10 years.
celebrating, but we kind of like pushed the what's it called now?
Push the bounds.
Push the
limits.
boundaries of that. So we're here again, and
Yep.
this is like a off the script.
Episode. Yes,
Episode,
we
yeah.
didn't script anything for
We
this
didn't script
episode.
anything. We're just going to be talking,
Yeah.
and
We-
maybe
we-
anything that comes to mind.
The one that has come to mind already. We already know what has come to mind. So let's just bring that one to the
Yeah,
table.
Donald Trump from the election.
Oh no, Donald Trump, definitely.
Okay, there's another one.
Congratulations to our president. Congratulations to our president. Because some people are upset that somebody asked yesterday, somebody was saying that somebody was upset that somebody who is a Christian is supporting Donald Trump. But then I'm hearing you to
Yeah. So even now, a friend,
what's the reason? I want to know the
a friend
reason.
sent me a message. Just
Yes, I
he
want
said-
to know the
I woke up in the middle of the night, and a friend sent me a message that he's disappointed I'm supporting a rapist.
Okay, he's a rapist. No, but we can't say he's a rapist.
No,
Is there
you
evidence?
accused him of.
Okay, he has been accused.
He has been
But has
accused,
he
and I
been-
think there are even court cases or something.
Oh,
the
okay.
rapist, he's a tax evader, he's a
The businessman.
and so things. And I said, so I replied him that this is the problem with politics, is that you are judging my character based off who I supported in an election. And simple, the post I put on Instagram was simple. Congrats to America. You had a new president. You did the democracy. Congrats to you. Did you tell us congrats when you gave us what we have? So waiting. I can't return the favor back. I say congrats to America, and congrats to the people that over 50% of the population of the people that voted that thought him to be the best man. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's not. I didn't vote. My opinion is
It does-
even if I post Trump from now to next year,
It
it
does
doesn't
not
come.
make-
It
it does not
doesn't
do
give me
anything.
one vote in
Yes,
the election. So
doesn't do anything.
I person responded to me, and it's okay. People can respond to whatever they want to respond. And I told him that see, I normally don't want to. I hardly have anything political on social media because I know how heated you can get. I think 2015 election was very heated,
Very, very.
and
I remember.
I was almost in the heart of it. So I just put myself out of it. So I didn't want to be part of that rubbish. So I said more, but I just wanted to test it. That let me see if anybody go and
And some people- and some
so I was
people
responding to
Some
him.
people fell for debate.
Yeah, and I responded to him while we were about to record, and he said that he's disappointed I'm a pastor. First, I'm not a pastor. That's one.
Just
He's disappointed I'm a pastor.
throwing this out there.
I'm a Christian. That's the most important thing. I'm a pastor, blah, 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 blah. First off, and let me talk. I think what it is we're going to talk about was church and politics, Christianity and politics. I think first off, Jesus is never on the ballot. So if I make a choice on my voting, it is not where you can judge me, is where you can judge my motives and my desire if I'm doing it for selfish reasons.
Mhm.
That's all you can judge me for. And you don't know that still. You're not God. You don't know what's in my heart behind my choice, except I
Yeah.
tell you. Jesus is not on the ballot. So it was not Jesus and the devil, then I voted for Jesus. Do you understand? Politicians
Or
are
you voted for
politicians.
the devil.
My own is that I think people kind of like we put a toga of Messiah on politicians, and that's crazy. And that's why personally I feel that churches shouldn't endorse.
And so let's just do
Political
what we are, let's
candidates.
just do what let's do what we are commanded to do and stop try to like
Yeah.
we have outright instructions.
I
about
love my
politics.
neighbor. So
Yes.
if for instance you voted, for instance, I didn't vote for President Bola Tinubu. I don't hate people that vote for President Bola Tinubu.
And I pray for him because
Yes,
the Bible
he's my president.
the
Instruction to
Bible
pray for. I'll
instructs
pray
me to
for you.
Yeah,
Do you understand? But I can have a conversation with you about your choice. But it will never come to the point where it's a thing of a judgment of your character.
Yeah.
It can only just be a judgment of your how do I put it now? Not of your character, of your conclusions, on your political conclusions in terms of who is best for us. It's politics, it's democracy. And personally, I'm not really a fan of democracy. This is just personal.
For the people, by the people.
Because
and
at the end of the day, at least 50% of people are going to live with other 50% of people's decision for the next 4 years.
And do those 50% know what they are saying?
And we
Or
will
do
never agree. And one of the things I think I told my friend was that, so are you saying that we should have 100% of people vote for one candidate? Is that not, that's a defeat to what democracy is supposed to be now. It's a thing of choice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If there was someone better in maybe character than Donald Trump, would I not have gone for? Yes, I would go. But here's the thing. Since my Christianity was brought to it, let me tell you. So let me say
Let's
this
tackle it based
easy.
on-
Let me tackle it based on that. I cannot vote. I cannot vote. I cannot support somebody that stands behind a party that wants to kill babies
Yeah.
in people's homes and says it's a child's right. It's a woman's right. It's not a woman's right. Because you cannot have a right that infringes on another person's right. If I drive a car, and I know there's so much argument of when is a child in the womb a fetus or whatever it is, whatever they say it is, when does life begin? I'm sorry, I have a Christian worldview. Life begins in God's mind. He said, before your mother formed you,
Before you
knew
were formed in your mother's womb.
So
Yeah.
let's take that away. But biologically, let's follow biology. Where does life begin? It begins in a woman's womb. When my wife was pregnant, she told me she was having a baby. Was I not happy? I was not happier when I saw Bryla than when
You knew
or Jace than when I knew she was pregnant. It was just the joy just progressed.
now
because
you're
it was the
seeing
same person.
physically.
Yes, it was the same person. So at what point do you stop it? I know people talk about their exceptions. What if the person was raped by a murderous criminal? And here's the thing. How many of those cases you don't make rules of exceptions. You make rules of what is more of a general case.
Things, yeah.
So I can't support a party that legalizes women to kill their babies and says it's a right. I will not support
Amongst many other things.
Another thing is that I will not support the rights of a party that says that a man can be a woman. God made them one, male and female.
I saw this our famous guy that has gone to jail for his plenty talk.
Okay,
No, not that one.
Okay.
Tate.
Okay.
And then he said, wow, thank God. Men can no longer get pregnant.
Yes, now. And see what's happening. See what happened in the Olympics. See what happened in the Olympics.
That was
you can't be claiming you're fighting for women's rights. Then on the other hand, you are supporting the thing that is actually killing women more. Just imagine. There's nothing wrong. If a woman was it's fine. But a man is a man. A woman is a woman. So I will not support a party that does it, that cannot define what a woman is.
A man is a man.
That's something my son can define. If you ask him who is a woman, he knows. But a whole party
says
they don't know what is a woman.
So there are some people that are
this is a betting body.
Wow.
A betting individual. I can't so do you understand? So if my Christianity is the question for voting somebody that has all these questionable things you say. So my Christianity shouldn't support that other thing now. If you want to be consistent, or like I told him, I said, okay, maybe I should not be involved in politics since the sinner's affair. But Jesus is not on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
He will never be. His kingdom is not of this world. And while we are here, it's a rational decision that yes, I put my Christian values at the backdrop of it at the end of the day. But come on. We're the ones that say that God can use anybody. Until it's the person we don't like. Until it's the person we don't like.
Now that God is about to use this person.
I just think that people should not divide over politics, or people should not judge a man's character by who he voted for politically. And there's so much eggshells around who your political choice is. and it's what the typically called council culture, where someone cannot say confidently who I voted for. Yeah, I voted for him. Have you asked me my reasons why? I believe Christians that even voted that will vote for somebody that and a party that supports abortion. Yes, I'm curious. I want to ask why, but it doesn't mean I will demonize you. But really, I think in this American election, there's more question of if a man that you say is imperfect goes behind a political party that kind of like has a ideology that is almost aligned with Christian values.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather go for such a man than go for somebody that is perfect,
outrightly,
but is in a party that is outrightly against Christian values. I will not. And I think that's it for politics. I don't know. I guess it's exhausting. And for me,
I'm already even tired.
No, it shouldn't even be exhausting because it's a.
Oh my God.
For me, it is what they call draconian. It's like it's a form of dictatorship where you want everybody to vote like you voted. No, I don't need anybody to vote. Even political parties don't need everybody to vote. You just need a certain amount of votes and you're the winner. But at the end of the day, it comes back to this. I personally don't think democracy is good. That is good.
You don't believe in democracy?
No, I don't believe. I just feel that it is.
You have your.
The problem of democracy is that 50%, at least less than 50% of people have to live with the choice
of what?
Of the majority, and I hope it's a good choice.
So that's what I'm saying. If the people that voted don't know what they are saying or doing, so that's how all of us will suffer for the next 8
That's what it looks like. Is that not what's happening in Nigeria right now? Yes, now.
Democracy.
People government for the people, by the people, and to the people, whatever it is. But it's the people, and see, politics is I know that people say politics is a dirty game, but I don't think it's a dirty game. I just think it's a game of numbers, and you do everything to win. Do you understand? At some point, a politician justifies. I will never be involved in politics in terms of the fact that beyond, this is somebody I'm a fan of or somebody I support. And the reason why I think I like Trump is because he's not a politician. In terms of what he's not a politician tries to say things to make everybody happy. He doesn't say things to make everybody happy. He doesn't. And for me,
I was trying to watch.
So it means that what you see is what you get. So in a sense, there's a level of honesty.
Yeah.
That's why I build
openness.
And against all odds. So for me, you are telling me that all the Christians that voted for him, you are disappointed in them or something. It doesn't make any sense. And I just think anybody that thinks like that, I think you are not. You are tampering with, and you don't know it. You are borderline tampering with freedom of speech and freedom of choice. Because
for me, I would say that's your problem.
That is your problem.
If you have an issue with the fact that
it's not enough. It's not enough to make a judgment call on anybody. It's not enough to fight or quarrel anybody. It's not enough to and that's why. And because as a Christian, really, my hope is not in this world. Jesus was not involved in politics at no point. I know people tried to. The time I had a conversation with somebody, a person said, Jesus was involved in politics.
Well, which of them? Which of the elections?
That he spoke. No. So people that criticize churches for being dormant when there are societal issues.
I mean,
say that Jesus. So he said Jesus. For instance, they say Jesus Christ spoke truth to power. So I said, what was the power? They said the Sadducees and the Pharisees. I said those ones were not the power. Now, why are you people doing as if you don't study history? It's the Romans now.
Yes, no.
In fact, if Jesus was in our day politically, nobody would like him, because Jesus was in the day where the Jews were overtaxed by the Romans. They were handled hardly by the Romans. Jesus Christ did nothing about it. Jesus Christ even paid tax.
They had to come and drag him back.
Yes. And it was a test, because they wanted to see whether he would behave like the typical Jew.
And try to evade it.
Just to say whose face is behind the coin. And everybody, I know Jesus is the master of
wisdom.
His wisdom.
Conny man bury him.
And everybody wanted Jesus Christ to be like a politician. come and take over the Romans. Come and he said, my kingdom is not of this world.
Yeah.
There's a time for it. There's a time where he's coming to conquer the whole world, and that's when he returns. And my hope is in that. But while we're here, we can make rational decisions on who we choose as a leader based on things that are empirical. And yes, is their character something that should be put in question? Yes, but you don't decide totally on the character of the individual, especially when that character is oftentimes based on allegation, based on perception. This is not a thing of we are electing. I know sometimes they call Donald Trump Hitler, and people will say, yes, now
I've never heard
people will say Donald Trump is Hitler. You are making a statement that is an embarrassment to history. You don't know who Hitler was.
You don't know who Hitler is.
In fact, I think you are being insensitive to what people faced under Hitler. You don't know who Hitler is. You don't have a clue.
That's why if you don't know something, why not just keep quiet then?
You don't know what people suffered under someone like Hitler. That's why you open your mouth and say this person is Hitler, or and sometimes those things people just use it because when you cannot win an argument.
When you cannot win an argument,
you go under the belly. You go emotional. You can't stick to facts anymore. You just go emotional, but that's politics. As Christians, love your neighbor. I think that's the most political thing you should ever do as a Christian. Love your neighbor.
Honestly.
Simple. So if someone does not vote like I am, doesn't mean the person is the devil. Someone can actually make a wrong political decision that is not an infringement on their good character. Because it's like, for instance, you make and you cannot blame one person's choice on, and like you said, the thing can be tiring.
I don't even bother. I don't bother entering it.
In fact, there's a part of it that is always regretting about you. And I first put it as my story.
I saw it.
So that it will go.
I first saw 47. I saw 47. It was I clicked that.
Let me put it as my page. Because I just wanted to see the people. Okay, let me see. And it's okay. And I'm okay with it. And I love everybody that doesn't have a problem with it.
Or has a problem.
Or has a problem with it, rather. Anybody that has a problem.
Any set you are in.
And I will not fight. We will not fight. And there's a point in the conversation where I'll just say, you know what, it's okay. If you feel that, I am not a Christian, I should not support this particular person, it's okay now.
No, so I'm asking why. That's the question I've been asking.
I'm supporting a rapist. I'm supporting
so do we
racist,
rather, as Christians, do we rather support someone who... Because I watched their debates.
No, it's a thing of lesser evil. In that sense.
No. In this case, I don't think Trump is a lesser evil.
I don't think so. See, there's the part where, you know what, I don't want to sound like, how do I put it now? Christianizing Trump.
Not necessarily.
But one thing you cannot take out of it is that somebody, an unlikely individual, and for me, it's even an embarrassment to people that are professing Christians. That is the person that we deem not to be a professing Christian, is the one that is ready to stand for our values.
Thank you.
Politically. I feel it's a slap on our face.
You're even saying the ones that are okay, yeah, because I watched the first points that were
especially
made, the whole abortion points, and
especially in a time where let me not say some other things. I feel like saying some other things that are very. But you know what?
Switch topic.
He's going to be president for the next 4 years, and after that, you can choose whoever you want. You can choose whoever you want to choose.
Let's enjoy it,
and it's okay.
As a Christian,
I can say concern, but it concerns me. I have family there. I have nephews and nieces there. I have people that because some of them may not even agree with me, but it's okay. Like, it's actually okay. It's not the end of life.
It's just 4 years.
It's just 4 years. Somebody, and that's the other problem I have with democracy, is that for 4 years, I feel it is making it cyclic in the sense that progress will never be going up. Progress will be going around cycles. So yes, you do 4 years. A president can do so much in 4 years. And after 4 years, another president can come and do rubbish. There's someone comes, pick it up, takes us good. There's someone comes, do rubbish again. So it is not, but I think that's also part of life. It's only Jesus Christ that will restore all things to you. My hope is in Jesus.
And for when he's coming.
And I've chosen him.
I'm really looking forward to his coming.
And yes, and to some extent, your voting choice can almost come to the point where you are choosing between Jesus and the devil, even though Jesus is not on the ballot. Because the LGBTQ is not of God.
Agenda.
It's not of God.
God
Killing
created
babies.
Only two
Killing
genders.
babies, abortion is not of God. Do you know you are blocking puberty blockers? That cannot be of God now.
Never.
As in, you're not just even going against the knowledge of God. You are going against biology.
So how come we don't have kangaroos that are they, them, and their? Why do kangaroos only have two genders?
Because they get sense now.
So we that are the standing Homo erectus and the Homo sapien.
Homo
What's that
sapien.
thing again?
I get sense
forget.
now. You know,
No,
I don't know.
no.
Something. I see. It's just the.
It's only one set of people in one geographical location that have this mind. Because me, I don't have this kind of rubbish.
Do you know what's even funny? Even the people in those places, they are a minority. And you know what's funny? I'm seeing a lot of people that came from Nigeria that had very strong Christian values that were conservative. You go there, and you're already thinking, you're already saying, we look out for the LGBT community. Yes, there should have a community.
I'm saying that you're already talking about their community.
I don't have a problem with your personal choice, but you cannot make me think otherwise about it. As a Christian, it's a sin. It is wrong. It is not of God.
People don't like to hear things.
And if you don't want to hear it, it is okay.
That are
but you cannot change my mind about certain things. Nobody would. Because I'm not living for you. You did not die for my sins. The person that died for my sins and resurrected on the third day said in the beginning there was male and female. You can't just because you have money and you have singing music or you have film, you now listen to you. No,
who are those people, please?
It doesn't make any sense. And yes, God loves you. I'm not. There's no doubt of God. People say Christians can be bigots. Christians can be bigots. Christians can be close-minded. We are judgmental. But here's the contradicting thing about what you are saying. You are judging what I am saying.
So you're also.
Do you understand? You are judging me too.
You're doing the same thing that
you're doing the same thing. You're criticizing me of. So what's your? You judge now. Just be the right judge at the end of the day, and have mercy. God will have mercy. So that's Christianity and politics.
Yes.
I hardly get involved in it.
No, we don't do politics.
We don't do politics here.
We just happen to be congratulating.
It just happened to
DJT.
I was responding to something.
Yes.
And
so we before we started, we were talking about respect.
Yeah.
And growing up in church. So I was thinking about it just now.
Yeah.
So the question I wanted to come to my mind was, as for us that we started church when we were 12, 9, whatever years, very small. The transition from as a small child that you were in church to now that you're a married man with 2 children.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how has it been for you in terms of how people see you, how they look at you in terms of this small brother that we knew just
church
come say, brother, don't rub your head.
I think it's sweet in the sense that someone that knew you are small. I think for them it looks like life has just happened multiple times before their eyes.
Yes.
You saw me as a child. Now you see me as that same child that has a child. And you're seeing my children. I think it's just like life happening twice before your eyes. And it's beautiful to see. And it is also...
But there's also a flip side.
The flip side of it is that it feels like you never grow in people's eyes. So, and I think it's just... I think it's a natural thing for... so it's one thing I'm also learning as I'm getting older, not to do to younger people. That...
Not to make them feel like they have not grown.
They've not grown. Because sometimes I think it's a parental block that your children never grow before your eyes. So sometimes children get to kind of like remind their parents.
But I'm a grown-up person now.
Grown-up person. And if you, what do you mean you're grown up?
Exactly.
If you are grown up, you won't be saying you're grown up. I just think that sometimes, even if you knew people when they were younger, when they grow up, by the time they grow up, I think how you see them should change. because they're not the children they used to be. And you don't have to keep them as children for them to respect you or honor you.
Believe
Because-
that the training
and
you
I
have
think-
given them.
Would suffice.
Yes.
And because another thing is that sometimes I think naturally we think if you keep people in that level, respect and honor is easier. But I don't think so. I think it is truly respect and honor when they don't have to do it.
When they are
Because
not,
at the
when they are
point
not
when you're a
made
child,
to do it.
Yes, at the point when you're a child and you're respecting somebody and you're honoring somebody, it is off the
You-
fact
yeah.
that this person can, just an authority, this person can punish me. So it
And
looks
I
like
must do it.
it looks like there's a leverage to obeying them. But at the point where you are independent of that person and you respect them, then that is respect that is worth it.
Yeah.
I prefer somebody respecting me when you don't have to respect me. Not
There was-
because
there
I'm
was
doing
no-
something that is disrespectful,
Yeah.
but because you are respecting me because it's now a decision and a choice and what you have been trained to
Mm-hmm.
do. And I think sometimes people want to maybe keep you down to
Yeah, because I like what Israel said about his dad.
is that
Yeah, that he said that his dad now calls him my brother.
my brother, yeah.
That's actually it feels to me like now his father
Yeah.
not that everybody's father should be calling them my brother
No,
or my sister,
but I think I'll do it.
but you do it, my guy.
I think
Yeah. Yeah, my guy.
Good.
It's actually a very nice one.
Yeah.
But sometimes, that flip side, it's actually it can actually be a challenge many times in church because
Church space, yeah.
the church space, because sometimes people just, and you know that church maybe is it as church workers or as just general church people, church servants,
Yeah.
it can be easier, or it feels like it's easy to be disrespected.
So like I said,
You are,
now,
you are
the
just
doormat
you are
now.
very easy target.
Nobody greets the doormat for the entire church.
Yeah,
Say, wow, how you doing? Wow, you nice. Like you good.
Have you taken your bath?
I think
today?
your bath. You don't chop. You don't eat.
No, there's nothing like that. And I think that it's something that the topic is a topic, but it's not really a topic that would like stay long like that. But it's something that maybe it just stems out of several experiences. I remember one time when I was, because I went to boarding school and I also went to university on campus and everything. I wasn't like always around.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I came back and I was going to go in through one of the doors in
Yeah.
church. And there's somebody obviously that has known me from when I was 7 years when I came to church. And it's interesting, 7 years to now this years.
Wow.
And when I was going through, the person wanted to like stop me to say, "Oh, don't pass here" or something. But because you are using the eye of looking at me like, not you that was in church that yesterday, in children's church that were giving chin-chin. Remember this group? Chin-chin and Zobo.
no. It's like cake.
Yeah.
I think it was Pastor KG that used to bring
What's
that.
Pastor KG? Chin-chin and Zobo. We will remind her of that instead.
Yes, so Chin-chin
Chin-chin
and
was
Zobo.
actually very sweet. I still remember the taste.
And Zobo was sweet too.
Zobo was
It was in
sweet.
a white cake.
Yes, white. I remember it.
How is it
Actually,
in a white
right.
cake? Okay, so that you
And
can
then
see
I
that it's
used
Zobo.
to...
Because it's a black cake.
No,
you don't know that you're
those are
pouring
the
foil.
cakes that were
You don't know
available
that you're
that
pouring foil or you're pouring.
Those are the cakes that were
Okay, maybe those
available
cakes
that
that-
And then I remember when we were still at Nira, we used
And
to,
it was cold though. How are they
Used to
keeping it
take-
cold? Is that they put the big cake inside freezer?
maybe
Ah, awesome.
not these days that they've modernized. As I was trying to pass the door, the person just, I don't call it slap. It's not slap. It was just a wiping. You don't just wipe or slap.
Yes. I think I know what you're
Just
talking about.
wipe my
What is going
back
on
of
here?
back of my, I don't, my back.
Yeah.
Like as if come back here.
Yeah.
I said, but sir, you can talk to me. Like if you tell me something, I will hear you.
Because you've not grown before the eyes.
Yeah, no.
And sometimes it feels like, I think it's almost a temptation to push you to a point where you want to
You now
Kinda
want to prove yourself.
demand it.
Yes.
And for
to
me,
prove.
when you have to demand respect, I don't like it. I don't want to be in that position.
It's not a good.
I don't even want respect when I have to demand of it.
It's not a
Especially
good
from
thing.
people that outsiders, even my children.
Even inside. Oh
Even
no,
inside.
your children.
Your children, you instruct them because it's the right thing for
That-
them to
yeah.
do, and it's the only way they can benefit of the relationship
Mhm.
they have with their father, and they are obeying God, so their lives will be long. So that one is there. But like you said, it's people never. So funny enough, I think it's just a general thing with every community that people that have known you for long are easier to disrespect you.
And now, share this to Jesus Christ,
Yes, now he said
our
the-
Lord and Savior.
our Lord and Savior. I think it's a general thing, whether with family and church is family.
Church, yes, church is family.
So we're everywhere. So I think there's when I went to play football on Monday and there was this officer because we play in a barracks. Officer, the way he was greeting me. It's like I say, you just know me now. Why you greet me like he was greeting with so much respect and like this an officer like why are you greeting me with this much respect?
Much.
Like I'm just and because sometimes one of the things, and I think how we walk in church is that nobody kind of like knows who you are, how old you are, how long you've been here. So people kind of like just have. I think for some people, you have not passed a certain age, even
Yes.
though the years are going by.
Yeah,
Some may just
true.
think that you're still 25,
You're still 25. Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
and it's just, and they're just in that loop.
Okay, I've been 25 for 10 years.
Yes. Yeah, just in that loop. That's 25.
I remember one day when I was talking to somebody. I think Israel's wife. She just came to church that time, so she was asking like, "Oh, okay, so wow, you." So she was just asking, and then she said, "Oh, so how long have you been in church?" I said 25 years. The way she kept quiet all
because
through
maybe
that
she
day.
did say you 23. So she talked 25. She can't be 23 years old and be church for 25 years.
The way she kept quiet all through the service. And I said, don't worry, it's all
Yeah.
about our family.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is that the good thing about us as church, maybe church workers, people that have been in church for a long time,
Yeah.
is that you don't really, especially here in this church family, we don't really throw it in people's faces like, do you know who I am? How dare you? You know, I've been in this church for the past 25 years. There's nothing like that.
From when you start calling those things, you're either not it or you have low self-esteem.
Yes. So, so I think that, we are even more accepting and wanting to make people feel more accepted,
Yeah.
being that you're just coming.
They're just coming.
And so you're like,
Like personally, I introduced.
don't worry, I've been here for
like
I've been here for
personally.
25 years. You come and join me. You'll be here for
And so, for instance, I know the same thing you do.
yeah.
That when you're introducing yourself to somebody, even if the person is a teenager, I call you. I use my name.
Oh,
first
of
name.
course.
Hi, my
Of
name
course.
is.
My
blah,
name
blah,
is Faith.
blah.
How are you?
How
What's
are
your
you?
name?
Say, I remember one time I was seeing you introduce. I said, no, it's Pastor B.
No.
"Is
I
that
said
you?"
there's nothing like that.
First, I'm not a pastor.
It's-
First, my
it's-
name
No, it's
is
not.
Bralod. That's the most
But you
important thing.
But guys, we joke. Me and brother is nickname.
I hope you got that. That's it
That
twice.
nickname, oh yes. So
But okay. You're going back to this. So, I'm somewhere. I don't know if I told you. I'm somewhere. Let me try and let me use Pastor style over
No,
here.
say the
Creating a story.
change the
Without you
woman
knowing
to
what the
man.
story
change-
is. I'm somewhere. And I think somebody said, Pastor B. There's somebody, a woman now said, this
You don't
person
be-
did not tell me
I think you told me that.
when you were there. I said, no, that is nickname. she was laughing. I said, yes, now.
But it's true that.
But it's true now. My name is brother, though. I said, that's why I don't.
That's why you don't.
I don't
you don't,
introduce myself as
and you don't, and
Because
so that
it means
you
I'm
don't
an
take it as-
imposter now.
Hmm?
I'm
Yes,
impersonating
exactly.
somebody. It's not knowing me. It's
I heard somebody
I'm
saying,
impersonating somebody now.
I heard somebody saying the other day, the person was trying to design a flyer saying, please, if we put this on this minister, one of all these big gospel ministers, if we put this person, will it to just for the flyer to be attractive to people?
Yeah.
Benjamin now said, are you a thief? Why are you inviting somebody?
But do you know that? Do you know that?
People do that.
Do you know? No. Did they invite the person?
No.
Did they actually invite the person?
No.
Because one day I saw Pastor Nathaniel Bassey
Yes.
on social media calling out one ministry that I did
Yes,
not
I was
accept
now,
this
that was when I was now
invite.
hearing that there was a case like that.
I've heard
but then
Pastor Nathaniel Bassey do it. I've heard
Victoria Renzi.
Victoria Renzi.
I heard that the remaining people now took them to court.
I know Frank Edwards also complained
Frank
about the same thing.
Edwards.
That they put him as poster.
The other day, I was
so these
walking
people, all of us will sit down in the Lord's Supper and be eating with the Lord
on
at
the
the
line.
end.
We stand on the line on Judgment Day together.
No, but what is that? How do you want to explain this one to Jesus?
That's because I see sometimes I see some people don't used to read Bible complete. They just assume.
No, it's
this
marketing
Bible.
strategy. Maybe I
What
think
marketing?
I think sometimes
What are you marketing?
I think sometimes it is they are working in faith.
No, now.
I call things that be not as though they were.
Then you go and print the banner.
Yes, now.
No.
You see, you never hear those people feel justify those things. Say that they're working in faith.
I'm not.
It's like now there are some people that prophesied
Yes.
that Trump was going to come back second term
Uh-huh.
when he ran against Biden. He didn't come back. People told them that they were false prophets. Now those same people are coming back to say, we did not see when the second term will be.
Wow.
Then you know for Professor I'm like, if you don't know when the
if you
second
don't go, if you don't go give me the date and time,
amazing
Oh my
people, man.
God.
Amazing people.
things are happening.
Things are happening. Where were we happening?
Strange things. Yeah, no, we're just talking about. Yeah, no,
definitely.
definitely. So we're just talking about the whole.
Respect.
Yeah.
And I think respect is I think this should be one of the top Christian virtues that a Christian must have. That you respect people. Because first, people are made in the basis for respecting anybody is that somebody was made in the image of God. And I think respect is that you are tampering with that image.
So this point you just made
Yeah.
is actually what I usually hold on to. You don't
Yeah.
respect somebody based on
What they have,
what they have,
Yeah.
the family they are from,
or
You
the money,
resp-
or how much they have.
how much they
In
have.
fact, the Apostle James even made mention of this in James. He said that
That's what I was
in churches,
asking.
pastors, or your church, if you put the rich people in front and put the poor people in behind, like,
Okay,
is that
yeah.
being, is that so? You respect people based off the fact that
you are Jesus Christ. We are all
Yeah.
in. We are all.
you're made in God's
We are all
image.
in God's image. We are
And
all
this
made in
person
God's
is
image.
like God loves this person.
Yeah, so I don't have to wait till. So there's this funny thing people do. I think me and you have had this discussion one time that people when people get married,
Yeah,
they either try to raise their shoulders.
I don't
Let me
marry.
use our balance. Raise your shoulder because I'm married now, and then expect that any other person that is not married should bow at your feet. I feel like I'm sorry, maybe I should, but that's a senseless.
and
Doesn't
that
make
I
any
also
sense.
feel that is the fallout of if you've grown up in a place where you were disrespected a lot.
Yes.
You will go
So there's
about
also
you go
that.
about wanting respect in
Yes.
the wrongest of ways.
Yes.
I think if someone grows up in an environment where you're respected for who you are, you will never want to attach respect to anything you have or
Yes.
anything that you have achieved
Yes.
because those things will just always be appendages. They will not be your esteem and identity will never be coming from those things. They will always be coming from I'm a person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So because I'm married does
Does
put
not
two
change
stars
anything,
on my
and does not mean I should disrespect
so I was even
another
going to-
person.
Yes, so I was even going to say that doesn't mean I
It doesn't mean I should
disrespect.
I should now lower my respect standard for somebody else.
No.
Respect everybody.
Respect everybody. Respect all men. The
Respect
Apostle Peter
everybody.
says it.
Yes,
Respect
that's what
all
Peter
men.
says,
Yeah,
right?
honor all
That's
men.
Peter.
It's
Honor
even
all men.
respect. Respect all men. Give them respect. And it's just, and I think that, and it's both ways. Whether it is younger people, whether it is older people.
In fact, as a matter of
there's
fact,
never a basis for disrespect.
Something
Even
I
when
even
somebody
learned-
doesn't act in a way that is respectful.
something I learned from Pastor Jane is that she's very
Yeah.
respectful to everybody, even the littlest of children.
Yeah.
As in, you see
Yeah.
how she greets people, and then I remember going out with her which day,
Yeah.
like maybe like 3-4 weeks ago, and she was just once she entered, she was like, "Hey, where are we going to sit down?" Like, not because she wanted to sit in front.
Yeah.
Obviously, the front seat was going to be for her,
True.
but she was not rushing. She didn't rush to the front. Since she's rushing to the front, she
Yeah.
didn't rush to the front. She waited. The person who was the invitee now came
Yeah.
and now led her and said, "No, ma, please sit down here." She wanted to say, No. She said, No, ma, don't worry, sit down here. And then the way she greeted everybody, the way she greets everybody, I feel like that's the thing that's how we should emulate, how we should relate with our,
People.
brothers. And I feel like we should even, as Christians, we should even do it more to the people that quote unquote or quote and unquote, because I
Yeah.
corrected somebody the other day. It's not quote on quote. It's quote. There's quote unquote it. You have quoted it and unquoted it. English grammar students. Anyway, so I feel like it is even the people that, so to speak, are the least, are the weakest people that we
Yeah.
should even you should even double up on
give that
the
level
respect
of,
the more,
very true. Very true.
so that, because obviously people are somebody who feels like, who already is down, and the person walks into a place like this, for instance, walks into church, and the person walks into church and just wants to come and fellowship, but I don't know these people, I don't know how they are going to accept me, I don't know if they will like me or anything.
Yeah.
And then the person walks into church. If I see such people, I try my best to be their friends.
Sure.
And try to make you feel like, forget, don't worry, all of us. And then I introduce you to every single person I know. I saw 2 ladies the other day. I said, do you know that I have a brother in this church? I was referring to you.
Yeah.
I said, do you know I have a brother in this church? I said, no, who's your brother? They call this person. I said, don't worry, somebody's going to come and greet you on this seat, and the person will greet you. The person will sit down here and greet you like the way I've greeted you now. Then you will know that person is my brother. So, regardless of who you are, you greet. It doesn't mean that you are also cowering at the so-called high status people.
Yeah,
they are high caliber.
You give people. Sometimes people think that, there's someone. It is because the truth is that we're human beings.
Yes.
Sometimes you kind of like give somebody more preference that has a certain level of maybe wealth in society, and you give somebody that doesn't have less. As a Christian, we are fighting not to have that.
Yes, we are.
Do you understand?
We treat everybody else.
But we're fighting not to have that. There's especially when you are in a close-knit community, you're fighting not to have that. I will not invite a stranger to my house, or I will not be comfortable with a stranger in my house that I've never known, whether rich or poor.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would. If you are comfortable with a stranger in your house because he's rich, something's wrong with you. Do you understand?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Now, if you just come into your house and say,
you have issues.
You have issues now. Do you understand? You should feel more uncomfortable that at least maybe for someone that is poor, maybe the person needs something from you. For a rich man, why are you here? Are you sure there's not something you want to take from me? Do you get it? So it is. You have regard for people differently.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's based off the closeness of your relationship. Like, for instance, my family members can come to my house, as my siblings, and enter my room. Not everybody has that kind of.
I can't come to your house.
Because based on, so I think people conflate respect and the kind of access you give people in your life. And you give people access in your life based on the kind of relationship you have with the person. Not necessarily because it's a thing of respect. You don't have to. I think those are 2 things you don't have to conflict. And sometimes people want to conflate it and say, no, respect means that whatever I give to her, no. For instance, there's what I can give my wife, I will not give to any other person.
No. Is there argument?
So you cannot say that's respect. That's something else. And sometimes people kind of like mix those things up.
Yeah.
But I just think at the end of the day, if we have communities that where people are really respected, despite of what they offer, and like what they have, I think, and the church, Christians in general, have to be like the propagators of that kind of life.
We should portray it.
Respect people, completely. Regardless of who they are.
Regardless.
Sometimes I cringe when maybe in my estate there are men that are old enough to be my father.
And they greet you good morning, sir.
And they greet me good morning, sir. And I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've never accepted it. In my heart, I greet back, but I've never accepted it because I just feel that it's the position that you are in that is making you greet me, sir. If you're in a better position, you will not greet me, sir.
Exactly.
And that's not a problem for them, man. It makes me even have more compassion on their, well, not compassion really. I'd rather say, I just wish that they didn't have to be in this position.
Or empathy.
Empathy for them. I just wish that they didn't have been, but it's a good job. There's dignity. There's dignity on labor. So the problem is not the job.
The problem is not the work.
Just that I don't think that job requires them to look at me as a younger man and greet me, sir.
I saw a very old man.
I don't expect you to do that.
Greeting somebody who has nothing to do with anything, but who is younger than me, but is of much bigger bigger descent. No, bigger frame.
Okay, frame, okay.
And as the person was passing and just said, "Good morning, sir." And I looked at the man, just like what you are saying. And I just looked at the man and I said, and actually the person is a security person too.
Wow.
I just said,
condition make.
I was just going to quote
Na condition make
it.
crayfish
I was just going to quote it. I was going to say na condition make crayfish bend. And you know, and it still brings me to the fact that people judge actually based on, because like I said, this person is younger than me,
Yeah.
but the man in question has no idea of that,
Yeah.
because this person is big and tall.
Big and tall, true.
So you now begin to respect people based on how big and tall they are, not because they're just a person
Yeah.
that you ought to respect.
Yeah, to respect.
And for me, I just think that it's actually not a topic, but it's
Yeah.
just something that we talk about, like maybe spare time.
Spare
look
time.
at what this person look at.
But
Look at how this.
I think another question I should look at,
Mm.
how do you kind of like handle disrespect? Because obviously it looks like, especially as a Christian, you know, because it looks like there's especially when you go older, you know, as a younger person, how you handle disrespect varies. By the time
as
you're
a
getting-
younger person.
yeah, because you're more independent. But when you are becoming more independent, it's how do I put it now? You want to kind of like fight back
Yes.
most times when you're
Yes.
being disrespected, or when maybe somebody speaks in a way that you don't like.
Mhm.
You feel that, oh, you should have spoken to me better.
Yes.
How do you kind of like respond? I have not mastered it. There are times where I feel like maybe someone spoke to me in a way I
I've
don't
not
like.
to let me not lie.
And here's my fear.
Let's not lie.
Let's not lie. And here's my fear. My fear most times is that where I say I've not mastered it is because how I'm feeling about it, I cannot say it that way. I'm feeling, because if I say it that way, the house will burn down. And
Obviously.
sometimes people don't.
Then people now begin to walk around eggshells
I
around
don't
you.
want people
And you
walking
don't
around
want
there.
that.
I don't want the emotions to fade away, and I'm looking like, man, what did I just do? I shouldn't have spoken like this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have
Responded in this manner.
said, oh, maybe there'd been a better way. But you know, sometimes you just look at it and be like, it's like recently, somebody on my block said something to me on the block. He's an older man. I almost wanted to ask the man, sir, what do you mean by what you said? And are you going to be able to, this thing you've said, he felt like a threat. And I said, are you threatening me? Because it's a different thing when you're threatening a single man.
And when you're threatening a married man.
Yeah. Because in my mind, instinctively, I feel that you're also threatening my family. And so I'm more angry. And I'm more
Protect-
dangerous.
You're dangerous.
I never I didn't respond to the man. I just saw the man didn't know what he was talking about. In fact, I even felt that the man, if he reads what he sent, he would think twice.
No, that's one of the things. You know, the other day somebody was talking to you. I remember one day. Let me tell you people what happened. One day, brother was answering a call, and the person, hello, good evening, and then the person said, this thing that's happening now, there's no light. Let me use light. There's no light in our block. What happened? As I heard the question, I thought to look at the person answering the call. He just said, oh, okay, it means that, okay. I said,
That's why they respond. Because if I think
that one have to be. Yesterday, I was messaging. I was trying to get some work done. I was messaging somebody. The person was firing me back. I was messaging. I was trying to explain in the most calm, demure manner. But the person was firing me. I've already sent a voice note. We don't know what you're talking about. This is meant to be. As I just finished looking at the voice note, I said, this should not be sent.
Yeah.
I cancelled it. Then I remember scripture. Then I carried the scripture and put on my WhatsApp status. A soft answer turneth away wrath.
Yeah.
But what's the conclusion of it? But a soft answer turneth away wrath was the first thing that just came to my mind. I say, let me not be responding to people the way
And,
you are
and
talking
it
to
looks
me.
like that's always the best
Let me-
response.
let me-
And it-
because if I answer you the way you are talking to me now, something will scatter.
And it looks like that's always the best response.
That's the best.
Because it turns away wrong.
Yes, so
It
let's
turns away-
just so fight.
it
let's
takes two,
avoid
it takes
fight.
two to quarrel.
Yes, and let me
It
be.
takes one
Let
not.
me
It
be,
takes one person not to quarrel.
and let me be the one. Let me be the bigger person.
Let me be the bigger person.
This is what they mean by the bigger person. Let me just be. Look, it's okay, no problem. However you see me, it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, I just want to be a Christian.
Yeah.
And if
And
you
the
don't
truth is
want to
that
be a Christian,
I
it's
think
okay.
if I come to the time where being a Christian, you are likely to be disrespected a lot.
Oh,
And in fact,
quite a
even
lot.
as someone that works in church, I think it comes with the package. But
With
fair
working
enough,
in church.
we're in a community where I think to the larger extent people respect us. To the larger extent.
You know, I was thinking the other day. I told you just before we started this recording, and I said that I was trying to think that Omo, on a Sunday service, you are just moving around here and there, doing stuff, getting things done.
Yeah.
Can't you even just sit down in service and
Yes.
listen like
Yeah.
every other person?
Yeah.
And then when Olemi was talking, Olemi was answering myself.
Yeah.
I said somebody has to get this work done.
Yeah.
Somebody has to get it done,
Yeah.
and I will keep getting it done
Yeah.
until I can no longer get it done.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes you're having conversations with yourself,
Yeah.
so how people are seeing you
Yeah.
and everything. But sometimes, interestingly, I remember like the other day when
Yeah.
we're in camp meeting, when one lady came and she was praying for us, praying,
Wow.
God bless you people, you guys are doing a fantastic job, God bless you. I was like, so people are seeing this thing like this and they're appreciating it like this. And sometimes, yeah, like you said, the community we are in, you just sort of like bask in that encouragement that even though
People are inspired by what you do.
people are inspired by, even though we still have one or two people that
That bring the thought.
touch, but
We love
I'm
you.
sorry, censor.
We love
We
you.
censor that part.
Censor that part. But not censor that
Yeah.
part. Because it's real talk.
Yes,
Like, you
yes.
sure you want to hear it?
You want it's growing up in church now. Now be this. These are the issues. These are the issues. But we don't take it as
Yeah.
anything that is like
Yeah.
it's something that will not say, oh, it's like a regret or so. It's not a regret. It's not
A
anything.
regret.
It's just that the truth is that
No,
all
just
this
that
kind of-
sometimes,
yeah,
just that sometimes
you have
it
these
rubs-
moments
it
of
rubs-
self.
it
You have
rubs
these
hard
moments
on-
of
it
self.
rub- It rubs hard on your feelings.
Yes.
There's no.
And
there's
yeah,
no-
I mean, I had conversations with myself for almost 45 minutes on
Yes,
on
Yes,
Monday
sir,
evening.
it rubs. It rubs
I
hard
was
on-
talking to myself back and
Yes, now it
forth.
rubs hard on your feelings.
Back and forth.
You get hot. I don't think
Yeah.
nobody has like. I don't think the Christian response to hurt or offense is not to feel it.
Yeah.
I think the Christian response is not to respond in
Respond,
kind.
yes. So you respond
not that I don't
according
feel hot.
to
You
what
feel
God
hot
you,
now.
you
You
respond
feel-
according to what God has said.
What God has
about
said,
it.
because Jesus Christ was hot.
Yes.
It's not as if Jesus Christ was chesting the cane they were flogging him.
Yes, now as they're flogging, that's why
He pain am.
now why he talks say, Father forgive them. Now why he talks say, Father
That thing
forgive
did not
them
pain
for
him.
they
He
don't
pain
know
am.
what they are
He
doing.
pain am.
Because
He
it was
say just
paining
the
him
chest
like,
am.
no, you know the chest
It's not entering. It's not entering. It's not entering. Lie.
Why did he not say hello, hello,
Hello,
lama
hello.
sabachthani?
God, you are forsaking me.
Why you do me like this?
He said, let this God pass me. by."
Jeremiah, it was not Jeremiah that
Yes,
he
sir.
came and said, oh Lord, you
God,
deceived me.
You deceived me.
And I was deceived.
And I was that was it's like so it just
That's
like
the classic.
as in no. As in God will deceive you and you'll be deceived.
Like he knows how he will play you. Say, "Naga,
And yes,
I'm
we
not."
felt like that now.
Yes,
God will deceive you, man. God.
but eventually, the good thing about it is that eventually you can still rest and say that
Yeah.
That's why God's provision, God has made provisions for these our feelings
Yeah.
in the Bible. So there's something I usually always say. The Bible says that he that puts his hand on the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom.
Yeah.
Is it because? So I usually say that it's because
Yeah.
God is not wanting. It doesn't want you to put your hand on the plow, but
Yeah.
there's a provision for the fact that you need to be aware that if you put your hand on that plow and you look back, you will not be able to fulfill this thing.
Yeah.
So you better don't.
So it's not as if the
Do
plow is pillow. It's not pillow, no.
Do you get? So
It's work
so,
that
yeah, so
God that will
provision. So every
put
day.
blister
That's
on your
why.
hands.
And it's one of the things I said on WhatsApp status. This I think I've just done WhatsApp status like 2 days in a row. So I'm feeling like a G. I don't really post on status. And I said that whenever you want to act outside,
Yeah.
whenever you want to act in your feelings, let the remembrance of scripture constrain you.
Yeah.
that's why we ought to, because if you don't know something, you will not be able to act according to it. If you don't know that a softer Saturn Tawiros, you will be fighting forever. You will keep fighting.
If you respond to every disrespect,
you will fight. You will fight.
You go tire. You don't have enough life to live.
You see
to
why?
Respond to it.
You see why you are talking just now about politics. I was just sitting there looking. It's because I remember you mentioned 2015. I kept quiet about. I did politics, so I was inside politics.
The 2015, I think I was more part. It was from 2015 I realized that this was not
this thing.
So the reason why is I think
Pastor Gwamna, Pastor Gwamna came.
Yes, I think why it's even easier for me now is because I can be interested in politics that directly doesn't impact me. American politics.
You are sort of like,
I'm not. My vote doesn't count.
Yes, exactly.
My opinion self doesn't count. It is to me and myself. But if it is, I don't think I'm going to bow to somebody not liking. I don't think it is enough to not. We should not bounce off people's opinions. We should rather, how do I put it now? We should rather put people's opinions on critical analysis before we come to a conclusion. You should not see somebody's opinion or choice and be like, no, this is wrong. I can't accept it. No, have you taken it through the test of critical analysis and say, okay, we've come to the conclusion? And we don't do that. And for me, it happens a lot with politics. There can be a very good reason why somebody voted
for somebody. Yeah.
You see, and I dare say this because you are not God and I'm not God. What I dare say is that God can want a bad man to rule. And it's not the first time. When we read, but it's not the first time.
Which is, yeah.
Do you understand? God is not boxed by anybody's desire or will. He can use anybody to rule.
To do anything.
The only thing he cannot use anybody for is our salvation. He used the perfect man.
Yeah.
But for anything earthly that really doesn't disturb his work in salvation, he can use anybody now. So for instance, if you were picked up by kidnappers and an evil man came to rescue you, would you say, no, you're evil?
Yeah, evil, don't rescue me.
You may not trust the person, but if the person is taking you away from that place, you will go now.
I saw a video yesterday of a snake, a fish had come out of water and was on some platform.
Yeah.
And then a snake was trying to guide the fish back into the water. And the caption was, sometimes the most unlikely people are the ones that help you out.
Yes, now it's not like, for instance, someone asked.
You expect the snake to eat the fish.
The former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was in a conversation. I was watching part of the things I was watching today, and somebody asked him, "Can you leave your child alone with Donald Trump?" I said, "What a silly question! I said, very silly. In the first place, why do I want to leave my child with an adult that I'm not close to? First of all, let's flip the question now, since we want to be silly. If your child is drowning and Donald Trump is the only person that can save your child, will you say no, don't save him? What's wrong with you? Do you understand? And for me, these are the critical analysis you look at before you make a decision. So is this what is important for a nation?
The thing is that, Brad, let me just tell you, the thing is that people are just talking and they are not thinking.
It's vibes.
They are not thinking.
It's like, for instance, the other day, someone came in and saw me on social media and saw Kamala Harris on my phone. I said, "Oh, you supported her?" I said, "No, I'm not supporting her." Say, "Why now?" I said, "No." So to say it doesn't know how to talk that. So I said, "Okay, what is our own economic plan? What's the plan? What's our agenda?"
Could not talk.
So I said, "So this is the problem. You're supporting somebody off vibes, and in fact, you're supporting somebody because you don't like another person. As in, that is your
Somebody was saying, asking me.
That is your ground decision for a president of a country over the lives of 300 million people. The reason why you are supporting that person is because you don't like the other person. You don't like the way the person talks.
Very shallow. So you're not thinking, and it reminds me of the Jordan Peterson statement that he made the other day. You offend because you're not thinking now. If you were thinking, will you be saying this kind of?
You ask other things.
You ask questions.
It's not a decision.
You critically analyze things, and then you don't just jump into unnecessary conclusions.
But that's politics. We've entered it again.
Oh, man, I beg.
Assuming out of it.
I beg.
This is not what we're talking about. Respect.
Yes, no, but I think for me, just in like maybe to
wrap it up,
sort of conclusion. Like put everything inside a bubble or a box.
Yeah.
We should have done like maybe 45 minutes. By
1
now,
hour, no 1 hour. As usual.
including politics.
Yes, no.
So I think like it's not about what you have as
Yeah.
a person or what you do not have.
Yeah.
In fact, Jesus Christ, the Bible teaches us this. When the man that was beaten,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
that many people passed
That's
him,
the
the guy that the thieves
yeah,
robbed him
robbed
and
him,
everything,
yeah. Person that was robbed.
And it's just from that story, it's just obvious that it's not as if you should not regard the rich people, but I feel like Jesus is even trying to tell us something, that we should even look more to the people who seem to be more or less privileged,
Yeah.
and does not you're not
Yeah.
dropping your respect for.
Yeah.
You are respecting everybody, you are honoring all men, but then there's something we have in our office that says that we should look out for the Jesus in our midst.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ said that I was in prison, you did not come and visit me. I was
Yeah.
in so many people, they go to prisons
Yeah.
based off of this scripture. But then it's what we do here in the office or in church. Then we look out for the newest people, the
Yeah.
people that are just coming, the people that seem like they are going to be lost. Those are the people that you even look out for the more, and then you try to lend your no airs, no anything. You call them like
Yeah.
how are you? Come, what can you do? Take the person through all the what's it called now? Take the person through all the classes, all the
Yeah.
new believers classes,
Yeah.
these are the departments we have. Follow up on the person, disciple the person, regardless of whether the person came to church looking nice or anything. Because the truth is that in this areas where we are,
Yeah.
in this Nigeria,
Yeah.
I wanted to say in the West, but this is not the West. in this Nigeria area, everybody is you cannot really know again
Yes, so you can't know again.
who is.
Who is?
I don't want to say too much, but I mean, we keep it simple. We just keep it simple,
Keep it
as
simple, yeah.
Christians.
Respect.
As Christians, it should be a no-brainer. It's not something that should be heard among us. Just like when Paul was talking to who was talking to, is it Galatians? It's not Galatians,
This kind of sin should not be.
heard. This kind of thing should not be heard among Christians.
Christians
We should not.
disrespect people,
It's not a.
Yeah, on social media.
This is actually a topic about. This is actually something or one of the things that can come up as growing up in church.
Yeah.
How we respect people. Yeah, we started with our respect experience
Expect experience.
from
Growing up
with
people that have known you to be
that
children,
have
and now
known
you're an
you
adult,
since.
and sometimes it doesn't look like anything changes.
For you now, you have 2 children and a wife, and then now it has entered into admiration. Like, wow, such a wonderful boy. That was
Yeah.
such a boy when he first came. Now he's a man.
It's a man.
The admiration is coming now because you have the
Yeah.
2 kids. But I feel like, you don't have to wait for somebody to have 2 kids. I remember
What if the person doesn't have children?
I remember
don't
one
respect
day I
the person.
dressed up. I came for a wedding.
Yeah.
Normally I wouldn't. So I just said, let me wear. I wore one serious knit cloth like this with shoe. Did makeup and did my hair and everything. And then somebody just saw me and said, "Wow, Mrs. Faith." I said, "But I'm not married." He said, "No, but the way you dressed." I said, "Wow,
Are you serious?
amazing,
Amazing stuff.
amazing." So
Yeah. So this is just us talking. And by the way, I just checked my phone now.
okay, the person has
No,
responded.
no. I don't think you take time for a response.
Okay, you don't give a word.
I just gave a reply. Now. Nobody has a monopoly of defending themselves.
Of what?
Of what? So you say National Grid has collapsed again.
Again.
Nigeria.
I go soon buy inverter. I don't tell you for this one agree.
Okay. So this is just talk. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, feedbacks are welcome.
Yep, feedbacks are welcome.
See, I think-
Political feedbacks are also welcome. Brother, no, answer all your political
The
feedback.
political feedback. Let me just say, there's no need
to give political feedback.
yes, no, and this is why. It's not because I don't want to hear it, but because you can go ahead and give. But why I'm saying that I may not really respond to it because it's your opinion, and I respect that. All I'm just saying is that if you're expecting me to respect yours, I think you should afford me also
Yes.
that same
You should also respect my
respect.
own
Now, and
opinion.
if you want to have,
Let us have a
I want to have a critical discussion. If you know me personally, we can meet up and talk somewhere about it. But I don't think it's necessary because first, concern.
Wow.
Secondly,
that's quite
it
a lot.
is a system that I'm not even so much. There's no other system. Maybe the other one would have been monarchy, but I don't know. I don't know how that fares. But people see it's a system that respects people's choice and has given people options. And if 50% of a population goes for one person, you cannot call all of those people bad. And that's what practically the opposition party was doing. You can't be calling people of the other party Nazis. You can't be calling them garbage. You can't be calling them certain things. For me, that's disrespect. That's not respecting what they want.
Mm-hmm.
People have a right to choose. And so there's no need because I'm not going to change your opinion. I'm not
You're
going to change mine. I don't plan to. Do you understand?
So let's just
I
move
will
on.
stand by the fact that when Trump contested twice, the first time, funny enough, I didn't support him the first time.
Really?
Yes, because
you
the
did,
things
though.
that people don't like about him, I was like, who's this guy? Just talks anyhow, insults everybody. I started supporting him when
He was running
it
second
was
time.
close to the election. That's his first
The
election.
first election.
And I was like, come, how did this guy beat all these people?
Okay. I was watching the story of
Do you understand how this guy beat all these
I'm going to
people?
finish it up
How
today.
this guy beat all these people? And it looked like an underdog story. And normal, there's a natural sympathy you have towards an underdog story.
yeah.
So I followed it. But then I looked at it, man. This guy, all the things that you said about him, you guys actually lied. Most of it. All the things you attacked him with. We found out that almost CNN and co,
They are just
they lied too. Do you understand?
cutting clips.
They
of
lie
him.
to. So so there's no need. My mind is not going to change. And it's not something I need to repent of. Because it's like I'm driving to satellite. You follow Alakija, me I follow.
Navigate.
It doesn't bother on
Elijah
salvation.
or
Now.
whatever.
Who I vote for doesn't bother on salvation. Especially when I don't vote for devilish. I didn't
The
call him.
person in question is a Christian.
I didn't
as
call
well.
him on. Yeah, he's a Christian.
Person that said as a pastor is disappointed.
Yeah, he's a Christian. He's a friend. He's a very good friend of mine.
friend of yours.
And it's okay, you can say that. If you are disappointed in me, like I typically say, I used to say, someone that is disappointed in me, I'm wondering when I appointed you.
When you were appointed in me, when were you appointed in
That's
me?
just a joke, but it's just what I always, is a way I cope and not get offended by what somebody says. Because I don't think if I tell somebody I'm disappointed, it's actually an offensive statement to tell someone I'm disappointed in you for something that is not really,
Yeah,
it's not really,
I get that.
did you see me twerking on Instagram?
Please, I beg.
Okay.
This brings us to the end of this episode.
Ah,
Oh
okay.
my God.
Okay, so don't forget you can follow us, like,
Yeah.
subscribe, and yeah. But our next episode will be more serious.
Yes, we'll be more serious because we're having a guest.
We're having a guest, yeah.
And a
I
special
love it.
guest.
And not for the other ones will be more serious. This is just a one-off
Yes,
thing.
it's just a one-off.
We just want to keep the podcast going.
Keep it going, yeah.
Let's keep it going. You
So-
understand? So
Yeah, so that's why we mix politics and respect
I
together.
respect together. So
Just mix everything.
don't worry. You can decide not to take this episode serious. It's okay. Even we say we really here. We don't take us serious like that.
It's not that serious. It's not that deep. Actually, nothing is that deep. The only deep thing is that Jesus is coming soon.
Just come.
And we're expecting his return finish. Yes, hell is real. Heaven
Alright.
is also real.
That's also real. So I'm proud of Jokojo
Yep, my name is Faith, and thank
This
you for
for
being
listening.
part of this episode.
Going Up in Short podcast.
Yeah.
God bless you.
See you.
Yeah.